there's something about storytelling that can be so important to like how we communicate with each other in the world and how we learn to love our neighbor. So it's just very important to me to tell, like, to make stories more available to people through like a visual medium, because that's what I do. I'm Corrrie Liotta. I'm an illustrator. I have been an illustrator for like basically since I like left the womb. I came out with a crayon in my hand. I went to college for illustration. That's like what my major was in. So I've been doing freelance illustration off and on for like the past 10 or 11 years, but really have only been working as a full-time freelance illustrator for the last 2 years, since like the end of 2020. So I literally have in a closet books that I wrote and illustrated, quote unquote, as a kid, like as like a 5 or 4-year-old, about dinosaurs going shopping and stuff. Like I loved children's books when I was a kid, and I was like, I'm gonna make these, because like that's just what you do when you're a kid. And that love of like storytelling has been with me my whole life. I've always been like a big reader. I have loved like film since forever. Like I saw Lord of the Rings in the 7th grade, and it like changed my life. And I was like, this is what I want to do for a living. Like this, like telling stories through like a visual medium, whether it's like concept art or storyboarding or like illustration for books or something like that. That's just like what I love to do. There's like so much variance in the type of work that I'll take on. A lot of what I do is leaning more like digital. A lot of it's like politics focused right now, like a lot of the work that I take on, because it feels like a very important time to be involved in like politics and fighting for rights. I do a lot of like little animated GIFs and things, and I do say GIFs, that's a point of contention, but a lot of the work that I'm interested in is very like story focused. So I want to figure out like what's the best way to tell a story visually. I do some storyboarding work. I do illustrations for books. I wrote a children's book a few years ago and illustrated the whole thing. There was a design that I did that had a quote from John Lewis, like when Congress was trying to pass the Voting Rights Act, that they projected onto a wall across from like the Capitol building, which was crazy. That's been the most important part, is like doing what I can to use my voice and put something good out into the world when there's so much bad that's also out there. By the end of the year, I want to have like a story under my belt, like, because I haven't like written a story in a while. I'm also working on moving my work from being solely digital to like having a physical piece. So I've been learning how to screen print to try and like keep some of that digital ease alive, but also move it into a realm where it's like, okay, now this is like physical. And then professionally, I'm still doing the political work. I'm still, doing illustration and design wherever I'm needed there. Really looking to get more into storyboarding. I did a little bit at the end of last year, and that's like, that's one of my dream jobs. It's like storyboarding for film one day. Sometimes I feel like it can be really trite to say, like, follow your dreams or whatever, And it can be, because like there's a lot of stipulations to that. But if you are really passionate about something, don't just let it go unnoticed. You are allowed to put it on the back burner for a little while to make your life happen, but keep the flame alive if you can. You know what I mean? Like, keep working at it and don't give up on it, because people need to hear what you have to say. Your individual voice is important, and the things that you create to bring into this world are worth creating and worth seeing. So do it.